In this video series I'm converting my 2002 Porsche 996 to a 991 GT3 RS replica, and I'm using a body kit supplied by Exclusive Customs. Previously we repaired the sills, we did a draft fit of the body kit, we did all sorts of stuff, and also I managed to fit these headlights in the last episode. These are 991 headlights which are now going to fit in to the cutouts in these wings, because obviously the 996 lights don't fit anymore. And in this episode we have bought yet another box, and today we're going to fit these to the car. So what's in the box, I can hear you say? Well, here we go. It is 991 rear lights. Real ones, not replicas. So I managed to source these original 991 rear lights. I think they're from a .1, and yeah, these are going to fit nicely inside the actual body kit there. But there's just one issue. Well, two actually. Issue number one, these rear lights have this plug here. The 996 are this basically square plug, so that ain't going to fit. Problem number two, the 991 rear lights fit to the body from above, like that. Whereas 996 lights fit on a bracket on the side. So that's going to need a little modification. So to help with problem one, which is the plug, I managed to get hold of these. These are a couple of pigtails supplied to me from a car breaker from a 991. I got them basically to cut the plug off and leave a bit of wire on so I can wire them in to the existing wiring. So checking the pigtail, we'll find that it actually fits nicely onto the actual 991 light. And with these supplied pigtails, we've got the original wiring from the 991. So what I've been able to do, as I did before with the headlights, I've put together a little chart, a little sheet that I have researched and got together with the wiring of how it's going to work from the 996 to the 991 and how we need to convert it. I'll chuck this up on the screen now so you can have a look at it. And we'll come back to that later when we start looking at that. But first of all, what we need to do, we're going to need to create some sort of fixing bracket, because we need to be able to fix these lights onto the car. So let me take a look at that and show you what I've got in mind for creating those brackets. Previously I've bought a lot of these bars, look, this, because I thought they might be making loads of brackets for this car for bits and bobs, but this is good stuff. So what I'm thinking is, so with the light in place, that's the original mounting bolt in there. Now if I can build a bracket, I'll cut this down so it's quite thin, and I can put that there and then bend it over so it comes down to here, and then what I then need to do is put a riv nut through there and I should be able to bolt it there. Yeah, so it might be an issue getting the light out with the bracket attached. What we'll do is we'll build the bracket first, and then let's just see what we've got and we'll work from there. So first of all, the workshop, let's cut these down to just what we need. Right, so the first rough bracket made, so I'm going to try and fit this onto the light now and just see how I can make this work. So when I opened the box that these came in, they did come with just two of these bolts. It's supposed to have two on each side, but I've only got two for the whole lot, but that should be alright for me, because I just need one for each side. So if I can fix this on here, oh, that's one heck of a thread. Right, so I'll try this back on the car. We're now going to need to bend this so it goes down to this part here. So hopefully if I just put a bend in that, and then we can see how much we need to cut off. So I took it to the vise and put a little bend in it and just bring it back here and just testing it. Right, so what I'm working out here is, if I drill a hole there, then we can come back, line it up, mark on here, and then I drill another hole and put a riv nut in there. We should be able to bolt this to the light and that to the panel. Right, so I've made a little bracket that's going to, I think, work, and I've just marked the point there where I'm going to install my riv nut. So let's install that now. Yeah, these riv nuts are absolutely superb when you want to create a thread in a place where you haven't got one. definitely get a set for jobs like this. Right, so I just had to chop that down a little bit there, because that bit when it was going in was just hitting the back of the riv nut. So hopefully now this should go in nicely. So I've got it so I can pre-attach the bracket, and then we can line the light up, push the bracket into where it should be, slot the light into its fixing point. And that, my friends, is solid with no movement at all. And it's fitting nicely in there. As you can see, that looks lovely. Of course, I'll paint these black when I've finished so that they blend in much nicer than they do now. But let me do the other side and then we can have a look at the wiring. Perfect, both lights installed now. So now it's time to rip them back out and get the wiring done. Yeah, so now it's time for the piece of paper. I'll chuck it up on the screen. So if we look there, we're going to start on the left-hand side of the car here. And if you look on the left column there, it shows me the colours that should be on this plug. Now I'll check those, and pins 1 to 6 do match to those colours there. And next to those is usage, so you can see what those colours are used for. And if you go to the right-hand side column now, we can see the colours that are on the 991, which are on my pigtails. And I've checked, and those are the exact colours. So what I need to do now is chop off this plug and then match the colours from the 996 to the equivalent colour on the pin on the 991. Now all I'm going to do at the moment is just strip all these back a bit, and I'm going to do it pretty loose just to test that I've got this right, because I don't want to solder it all up and heat shrink it all and then find I've got it wrong. So here we go. Goodbye 996 plug. Oh, the battery is disconnected, by the way. Right, it's prepped each of the wires on the 996, so let's go get the pigtail and do the same to that. Now I'm going to leave plenty of slack on this for now so I can mess with it. So now it's just a case of matching the pin 1 from the 996, which is a brown, to the pin 2, which is a brown, on the 991, and continue through until I've got them all done. I'm going to pop a little bit of tape on them just so they don't touch each other when I'm testing. Yeah, like I say, this is just for testing, so I'm just chucking a load of tape around and I'm just leaving them really rough. Right, there we go. Not pretty, but it's not meant to be pretty. This is the testing phase. So let's plug that light in and then let's go in the car, put the battery on and test. Right, so I've left the camera so you guys can see the light and I'm looking in a mirror. So here we go. So ignition on, nothing there. Tail light. Oh, look at that. Right, so next one is indicator. Oh my word. Yeah, it'd be flashing fast because there's an indicator missing at the front. This is the one we really want to work. You ready? Brake light. Oh yes. Absolutely beautiful. And the next one will be reverse light. And last but not least, fog lights. Ooh. Do you have 2 fog lights on these cars? Right, I'm not too worried about that at the moment, but I know sometimes cars only have 1 fog light on one side, don't they? So it might be that it hasn't got a fog light on that side. Don't know yet. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go temporarily wire up the other side, and then we'll do the test again and see where we're at. Right, that's the other side temporarily wired. Let's get this light in, and then I'll set my mirror up so I can see both lights, and let's give it a test with both lights in. Right, here we go. Tail lights. Yes. Both lights on there nicely. Indicator. This side. Ooh. Ooh. It's making a funny noise. That's making a buzzing noise, but it does work. We may need to do something with the resistors in between those. I've yet to figure that one out, but we'll have a look at that. Don't understand why the other side seems to work better. Yeah, the other side's just flashing fast, but this side is buzzing, so strange. Okay, now I want to try brake lights. Yes. And reverse. Yes. Right, so this was the one that was missing. See whether it works or not. I think fog light. Yeah, there you go. It's only on one side, you see. Oh, hey, lovely. Fog light, way, way. I think it's on the off side. And in the UK, the off side is the right side, whereas in Europe, it's the left side. Success! So what we need to do now is we need to take those apart and wire them up properly using heat shrink and soldering all the wires together. Let me go do that. Yeah, so I just opened up my heat shrink case, and because mainly these are the sizes I use, which are kind of that size, I've only got like 2 of those left. So I had to nip out to get some more. So I bought a couple of packets of these. So I've got plenty of heat shrink there. But I noticed on the shelf they had some of these. Now, I have seen these on other YouTube channels, and I thought, you know, I've never used these, so I think I'm going to give these a go. So I've got 20 of these. I only need 12, 6 on each side. So let's see how these work. For these, I'm going to need my heat gun. Right, so as simple as we're supposed to just slip that over there, like so, and take the other end. Now I'll shorten these off now because I don't need them as long as they were. And that one should go in this side. Just got to make sure that the wire itself, they both go where the solder is, which that is, and then we just need a bit of heat from the trusty hot gun. And that looks good to me. I'm going to carry on doing with the rest of them now. Now the last wire, the brown wire, is pretty thick here, so I'm going to use my old method here, which is soldering iron. Right, so that's now done. Now my take on it, well, you apply so much heat to these that it's starting to melt some of the insulation on the wires. I'm not too happy with that really. Using just the heat shrink tubing method, it's a little bit more controlled. I don't have to apply as much heat, but this, I found I'm having to apply a lot of heat until you see the solder melt in the middle. So maybe these are better with, I can separate the wire out and give me plenty of room away from the other wires. I might do that on the other side. I think what I'll do, I'll leave a little bit more slack so I can pull the wires out away from each other and then heat those up. But yeah, apart from that, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to plug this one back in, give it a quick test off camera just to make sure that these have all taken. And then I'll move on to the other side. Yeah, so this side went a lot better now by sealing them with the heat gun and then pushing them out the way when I did the next one. And now, yeah, all the wires are really nice. I managed to get the brown one in as well, so that's good. So yeah, that fitted nicely in there. So it's all done on that side. So that's it. So what we'll do is we'll finish these off, so we'll make them look nice. And then we'll do the final test. So this was just a case of wrapping it all up tightly with some insulation tape. Right, time for that big test now. So this is it, they're all installed and plugged in, wired up correctly, soldered, everything. So let's go for that one big last test. I'll turn the lights off so you get a better view. Okay, here we go. So, tail lights, yes. Indicator left side. Now that flashes fast, that's because there is a bulb in the side marker, so that's kind of helping with the resistance on that. When I do the indicator on the other side, I'm going to turn it off. It doesn't flash. That's because there's no bulb on the side marker or the front, so the resistance I think is wrong, so it doesn't like it. But it does work, so that's fine. So next one is brake light. Yeah, look at that, beautiful. And next, reversing. And last but not least is the fog light. And there it is, look, yeah, it's only on one side, like I say. So that's it for this video. That's another big milestone achieved on this car, getting the electrics done for the front lights and the rear lights. The only ones I haven't done now is the side markers, which I haven't got yet, and the DRLs, which I'm still waiting to get some pigtails for them. So if anyone knows who's got a 991 pigtail for those DRLs, drop me a message, get onto you. I'm looking at breakers, I'm sending messages to breakers, but they don't seem to have any available. I don't think they want to cut the wiring off. Anyway, so that's it for this one. If you enjoyed it, then please, please, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because it really does help with my analytics and helps me create more videos like this for you guys. And give me a thumbs up if you really enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.